Hello, welcome back. In this tutorial, you'll learn the basics of Microsoft PowerPoint as well as how to format your document. So before we start, I would like to introduce you to the basics aspect of PowerPoint. So before I go ahead, if you haven't watched the beginner's guide to Microsoft Word, I think you need to watch it because I did explain all the aspects of this area, but I'll just quickly go through it again. Like all this place is called the ribbon. So if I double click this aspect, what you can't see right now, these are the menu tabs, and if I double click any of these menu tabs, the ribbon will appear again. So I double click this, and then what you can see right now is called the ribbon. And the same thing happens. Each menu tab has groups. This one is the clipboard group, the slides group, the fonts group, the paragraph group, drawings group, and editing group. So at my left hand side is called the slide pane. It houses the slides in this presentation, and it also shows you the thumbnail for each slide. Down here where I have the taskbar, you can see it tells you that we have 11 slides and the active slide is slide 1. So if I hover my mouse towards the right hand corner of the taskbar, you will see where it says notes. If I click on that, which is over here, right, so if I click there, I can add notes to my document. The notes I have here, I just got it from the internet. So yeah, I can add notes to this slide explaining exactly what this slide window tells me. So I can also increase so I can read the text properly. So hover your mouse to that line there, click and pull up. That way you can see whatever it is you've written down and read it clearly. So the next thing beside this notes button is the normal view. You can see right now we are the normal view. That's why it's checked. You can see. That's why it's highlighted. The next button there is called slide sorter. So if I click on slide sorter, you will see this is what slide sorter looks like. It shows you all the 11 slides in this presentation, so you can easily choose whatever slide you want to edit or work on. The next button here says read mode. So if I click on read mode, you will see that it gives me the read mode of this presentation. So I can just press escape key and get back to this slide sorter view. Why this aspect button, which is slideshow, I can run a slideshow. So if I just click that, I can run a slideshow. Escape key button and get off. So at the far end here is the zoom level. I can increase the zoom size. All depends on your preference. I can also decrease it. So I just want to leave it at 100%, which is perfect for me. So that's it basically for the introduction. So let's get back to the normal view. So I'll click that aspect and get back to my normal view. I want to scroll up to the first slide. All right. So you can see this presentation doesn't have a title bar, a title slide. I can easily add a title slide, put in the title of the presentation as well as subtitle. To do that, you need to go to the Home tab, Slides group over here, and this more arrow here that says New Slide. You click the more arrow. Now you can see different slide layouts. Take note of what exactly you want to type in before you can click the slide layout. Like I said initially, I want to add a title slide. because I want to add a title slide, I can just go ahead and click the title slide. If you want to add title and content, you can do that, but for title slide, this is the one I need. Yeah, if you look here by the slide pane, you will see that I have added my title slide, but you see, because it's called title slide is always the first slide that you see in a presentation. So what you need to do is click on that slide and move it upwards. So yes, now my title slide is now the first and number one slide. So if I click on that, I can further edit. This place is called the title placeholder. Title placeholder. It says title placeholder. Now I can click and add anything. Let me say digital tech. So let me leave it like that. And this part where it says click to add subtitle, if you're a student, you can now click and add your name, say Paul Smith. Or if a student, you're making a presentation, or you work in an office and you want to make a presentation, you can put the subtitle there to be your name. So we have successfully added title slide to this presentation. So the next thing I will talk about is adding header and footer. To add header and footer, hover your mouse to the Insert tab. Now locate where you have the test group over there. Here, the button, we have header and footer. Click on that. The dialog box comes out. What you see here on the first button says slide. That's where you need to edit. So include on slide. At this point, you need to check this so you can edit your header and footer. So if I click on that, the default one, the first button here says update automatically. So you can add a date to your slides and also change the language. So let's just leave it as it is. I can change whatever language that I want at that point. So this is the default, right? But what if you just want a fixed date? You want your slides to show the date which it was created. So you need to check the fixed. But if you want this presentation to update any day it's opened, then you leave it at update automatically. But let's click on fixed. Now this box says slide number. I can add a slide number. I can add numbers to my slide. If I want to do that, I put a tick there. Now footer, if you want to type any information in the footer, you need to put a tick there and type in, say, Paul Smith. Now this is your name as a student or as a worker who wants to make a presentation. Alright, now the next box here says don't show on title slide. If I put a tick here, it means the first slide, which is a title slide, this information that I have edited here will not show. So I don't want this information to show in the first slide, so I need to put a tick there. Alright, after you're done, you can see the preview, the date, your name, and then the footer. Okay, so when you're done, click apply to all. If you say apply, it only apply to, say, the title slide, but the best thing to do, you click on apply to all. Alright, so this is the first slide. The information is not here because we had to tick that box. So if I click on the second slide, you can see over here I have my date, I have the name, and then I have the page number of the slide. You can see. So we've successfully added header and footer to our presentation. We can add pictures or clip art to our presentation. So to add pictures, we can go to the images group, that is insect tab, and here the images group. So to add a picture, I can go here, click if I already have the picture in my computer. If I don't, I can search for the picture here online. Either it could be a clip art or a picture, all depends on what you're looking for. So I have a picture in my computer, so I'll just go to the pictures and choose this emoji here and say insect. So you can see, for me to add a picture, I clicked on the slide that I want to add a picture to, here slide 4, before I can add picture to it. So this is the picture I want to add, so I can click, hold and drag through to place it exactly where I want it to be. So let's leave it at that point. If this is too big, I can as well resize it. You can see it's activated by me clicking on the picture. So I can go to the size group over here and then resize it, resize the height of this picture to say 3 centimeters. Press enter. Alright, so I can then move it closer to that word there, happy. So you can go ahead and insert different pictures that explains this wordings here. So let's leave it at that because you already see how to insert a picture. So the next thing I want to talk about is themes. Themes gives you the look and feel that you want for your presentation. It applies the background design, placeholder layout, colors, and font styles to your slides and slide elements. So to get access, to have access to the themes, you need to go to the design tab. Click on the design tab there. Here you can see the themes group from that point to this aspect, and here is the variants group, customize group, and designer group. So you can see here is deactivated. There's nothing here. That's because we haven't applied any theme to this presentation. Once a theme is applied to this presentation, we have variants. So let's go ahead and apply a theme here. So clicking on the more arrow, I can see different themes. I can go ahead and choose what exactly I want. So you can see if I hover my mouse across each of the themes, you would see it gives me a preview of what that themes looks like. Let's go to this aspect. You can see that's what the theme look like. If I like it, I can go ahead and click on that. Let's try this one. So that's it. I have a theme, or I have applied a theme to my presentation, which I got this theme from the default PowerPoint here. The next thing I want to do, what if you have designed a theme and you have it saved in your computer, you want to use it? What you can do is, I want to undo this theme, so I just go to that aspect and say undo modification. So I've taken out that theme that I applied. I have a theme saved in my computer that I want to apply to this presentation. So what I need to do is, still by the design tab, themes group, I'll click on that more arrow and then hover my mouse to where I have browse for themes. I went through this aspect because I have the theme that I want. Search for the theme that you want, click on it and say apply. So you can see I've applied a theme that is not a default in Microsoft PowerPoint. So that's it. You can apply themes that you want. So the next thing I want to talk about is changing font and font color. So if you look here, let's scroll to the first slide. First slide, you can see what we have now. Paul Smith. Now let's increase this aspect. I want to change this font size. I need to highlight and go to, this is mini toolbar. If I don't like it, I can just click on the Home tab, go to the fonts group, choose the font style that I want. Let's use this Arial. Click on it. I can also increase the font size to say 48. So that's okay there. So if I go to, you can see it's giving me that color. I can decide to click on that and change the color to say red. So you can change the font size and the color of your font. The same thing you can do on each of the slides. You can change the heading here, font size, and the color of the font. The same thing here. You can change the font size. You can go ahead, select all of that in the text placeholder, click change font size, whatever font type you want, and also increase the font type. So you can do anything to each of the slides, whatever stuff you want to perform on it. So the next thing I want to show you is you can actually hide a slide. You can hide a slide that you don't want to be visible during your presentation. Let's say I want to hide this slide too. I will click on that particular slide, right click and click on hide slide over here. So for me to know that I have added hide slide, over here you can see that slash sign that shows me the slide is hidden. So if I'm making a presentation, take note of what is here. So I click there and go to the slide show. That slide 2 is hidden, you can see. So back to my stuff. So slide 2 is hidden. That's where you can hide the slide if you do not want to delete it. So you hide the slide and make your presentation nicely. So let's go ahead and talk about transitions and animation. Take note that transitions are applied to slides, while animations are applied to text and pictures, or text and objects, whatever it is. So let's go to the transitions tab over there. Here we have transition to this slide. Click the more arrow over here and choose a transition of your choice. You can see there are sections of transition here. We have subtle, exciting, dynamic. Just choose which one suits you more. So I'll click on that aspect. Alright, so take note that my slide 3 was active when I chose that transition. To enable, in order to apply this transition to all of the slides, you need to go to the timing and click on apply to all. Now I have that slide or that transition applied to all of the slides. You can see the star sign there. That tells me I have applied transition to this presentation. So if I click on the slide show and click on the first slide, click on slide show. So that's cool. Let's add animation to our presentation PowerPoint. So to do that, click on the animations tab and then locate the slide that you want to apply animation on, or you can actually apply animation to all of the slides or just one particular slide. Let's start with the first slide. I remember I said animations are applied to text and objects, text and pictures. So this is a text, so I will just click on that. You notice if I click here, the animation is not activated. So you need to click on the object or the text that you want to apply animation to for this to be activated. So I click on that. I can go to the more arrow and choose what I want. Okay, so let's leave that. You can see that number 1 tells me that animation is being applied to that. So if I want to see it, I can just go to my slideshow and you can see my animation on that first slide. So I want to apply animation to, say, slide 2. The heading here, I can click on the heading or title placeholder and apply any animation of my choice, maybe wheel. Alright, so I can apply to the text placeholder. I can just click on that border there and apply animation to all of these bullet points at once. Let's choose another kind. Yes, so you can see you can apply animation to all of the bullet points at once. So let's scroll down to the text slide and see you can now choose any animation of your choice. You can apply different animation to the heading, which is the title placeholder, and as well as the text placeholder. All depends on your choice. So what I want to talk about now is columns. Remember we talked about applying columns in Microsoft Word. You can also apply columns to your slide. Like you can see, we have points here. To do that, select all of this text, go to the Home tab, the paragraph group, you will see that button there, add columns, that button. So that's where I can add columns to that slide. If I want 3 columns, that's it. 2 columns, let's use 2 columns. So that's it. You can apply 2 columns to your slides. You can as well apply spacing, select and go to over here, paragraph group, choose the line spacing of your choice. Let's leave it at that. So we are done with basically what you need to know about formatting. While if you're done with formatting your documents, of course what you need to do is proceed and save your document with a name that you will remember, or if you're a student, with a name given to you